any Lions fans out there that thinks that Stafford is anything but a first-rate, first-class individual that did his best with what he had. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding when I say this. Detroit should throw a parade for Matthew Stafford. Remember when Ray Bork went to the Avalanche and finally won a Stanley Cup?
In Boston.
He had a parade in Boston because of his longevity there and coming so close and not getting it. Honestly, they should declare a national Matthew Stafford Day in the city of Detroit, give him the key to the city, and throw a parade. I'm not kidding. They should be so happy for him.
I mean, just think about it. Because it takes, I know so many sports fans, when they talk about sports, just think this guy should get fired. This guy stinks. This guy should get cut. This guy should this. That guy should that.
Well, it's fun.
No, I know that. I know that. But there is a huge human element to this.
Of course.
In the same way that, we'll be talking later on about Aaron Donald. Like, why would he retire? Because we have no idea what it goes into being that guy. We have no idea. We just think he wakes up, he's Aaron Donald. He's going to go destroy somebody's dreams and wreck a game. Like, that's what he's going to do. But we also don't know what it takes about what he puts in his body and the discipline that it takes to, avoid something. I'm sure he wants to sneak just as much as anybody else. Yeah. And working out, focusing, getting in the room, film room, all of that stuff. But it had to have taken a monumental effort for Stafford and his wife to sit down together and say, we don't want to be here anymore. In Michigan, in the state of Michigan, where he made his home. They made his home. That's where his children were born. You know what I mean? And so it really does take an effort to sit down, an emotional reckoning. But fans are like, oh, of course he's going to do that. Lions stink. Lions couldn't do anything for him. Well, you want to do it for the Lions because this is the team that you were drafted by, and you want to be that first. You want to be the culture changer. You want to be Burrow for that franchise. You want to be the guy to be known. You took the franchise that had never done it and put on the show. You want to be Kurt Warner. Did it twice. One time he brought home a ring. The other time he couldn't. That's what you want to be, certainly for Detroit. And Stafford, for him to make that reckoning and choice to say, I'm going to go in, I'm going to ask out, had to be something else. And then for the Rams to make the choice of, we have a guy here that we put a ton of capital in to go draft. We then put literal capital on the table. We gave him his second contract because he made a Super Bowl. And then whatever happened, we still don't know. I don't know if we will ever know. But something happened with him and McVay, or him and the Rams, or him and the team, or just himself with his skill set. Yep. Where the Rams just at some point, whether it was in a game or a series of games or a series of practices, that's the way these things go. Quiet moment, Les Snead and McVay. And again, I have no insight on this personally. As you know, I know these guys, but this is how it works. You sit down and go, I don't know if he's a guy. And having that conversation, it's like, well, we gave him all this money. How are we going to get out of that? How's that going to not leave a mark? And someone like Les Snead's like, I got it. We'll figure it out. And for those two things to happen at the same time is what you call in the football ways, it's like kismet. It's like that. You need that luck. That's luck. That Stafford at that point in time decides he and his wife that we're out. And at that point in time, it's exactly when the Rams are like, you know what, we want to get out of this long-standing relationship as well. And our boy Smitch of the Rich Eisen Show put this together. McVay and Goff on the left. And they had terrific times. We could find a happy photograph of him and Goff together. But it ain't the one on the right with the Lombardi Trophy cutout confetti coming down. That did not happen in the previous Super Bowl visit. And in order for the one on the right to happen, they had to decide to say goodbye to the one on the left. And then for the one on the right to happen, Stafford had to say goodbye to Detroit. And then what did they do? They won the division. They knocked out Tom Brady, potentially ending his career together. collectively as well. It's obviously a team effort. They got Von Miller for crying out loud and Odell, and everyone knows the narrative. They win the division after going 7-4. They get out hot. Then they need to finish hot in order to win the division, which they win. Then they have to go on the road because they lost the final game to the 49ers and still winning the division. And in the one road game, they beat Brady. Then they beat the Niners for the first time in 6 or 7 tries, gain the Super Bowl in their home, and win it there with a Stafford-led 15-play drive at the end of Cooper Kupp. But, I mean, there's a human element here, and it worked out for the Rams and clearly Matthew Stafford and his family.
Amazing. It's amazing that they made all those moves and everyone expected them to kind of be here, and they did it.
And I was there before McVay. I've told this story, and I'll tell it again here. On that flight home from Seattle, after the Rams fired Jeff Fisher, and John Bones Fossil, their special teams coach, was the interim coach, and they gave Goff a start, okay, up in Seattle on Thursday Night Football. Yeah. And Goff got crushed. And they're like, I got on that plane because the Rams gave me a ride home. Kara Henderson-Sneed, I've known her since the mid-'90s. We met each other at ESPN. And I'm sitting with her. We snuck a little wine on the plane. A little red wine on the way home. And, it was that plane was not a fun plane ride home. And there wasn't any sense that McVay was around the corner and that the Rams would, with that hiring, become a model organization that everybody wants to get them one of McVay. They got the first. Bengals got one, made the Super Bowl with theirs, right? Version of it. And there wasn't a single ounce of sense that I could think of that 2 Super Bowl trips in the next 5 years were coming, let alone one at home in this beautiful $5.5 billion stadium. There wasn't anybody on that flight that maybe some thought about it or thought it'd be possible, but I sure didn't.
Yeah, that was Goff's 5th start. He had started the previous 4 games. Fisher got fired after losing 42-14 at home to Atlanta, and then they went up to Seattle.
Gurley was calling it a high school offense.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
24-3 to Seattle.
It was brutal.
Yeah.
And they made some hard decisions, one of which, thankfully, was keeping Les.
Yeah.
And now they're champs. I mean, it's crazy. Everybody, it was easy to hire McVay. No, it wasn't. No, it was easy to build this thing. No, it wasn't.
McVay comes and Goff makes back-to-back Pro Bowls, and they went to the Super Bowl in 2018.
And now Stafford replaces, and they got a ring.
There was only one way this season could end for them.
Yep. That was it. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.